we're working with duplication issues for this week's challenge. So let's just take a quick look at our data set. It's not the easiest to find these duplication issues when you're working with such a large data set, but let's take a look at what we know. So if I look at my client field, then I've managed to sort this in a descending order by count. So I just selected that option from my sort menu. It's not often that I need to do that with a smaller data set, but certainly when you're working with a larger data set, then that helps you to see where these issues might be occurring. In fact, I'm going to zoom in on this section here so that we can see what happens. So I'm going to click on this second client here in the list, Blander PLC. And when I do, I notice that I have two account managers. So, okay, that's definitely an issue for me. And I notice that I also have in my client ID two client IDs. If you can just see those blue highlighted in the histogram there. So there's 626 and then there's also 845. And if I come down obviously to my data set at the bottom where it'd be filtered to just Blender, then I can see those two different client IDs and two different account managers and two different start dates as well. So those are the issues that I'm trying to remove from my account manager section of this data set without removing any of my information about who's attending my trainings. So for me, that says that I kind of need to split this data set up. I need to split it up into my information about my account managers and which clients they look after. So I'm simply grouping on my clients, my client ID, my account manager, and my from date. So all the information about the account managers and which accounts they look after. And then I also split this up into my training information. So I have my training sessions, I have who's attended them, their emails and the names, and then what client they belong to. Because we know that we have that issue of different client IDs, I don't include the client IDs in this aggregation step. So let's take a look at how many rows we're getting at the moment. So now we're on 13,528, whereas before when we started with our data set, it was on 13,623. So that's further proof that there is duplication happening with these account managers being different for certain clients. So it's certainly something that we need to resolve. So once we've grouped our account manager information together, then we can look at each client and say, what is the maximum start date of an account manager? And in doing this, we're working out what is the most recent account manager for our clients. Well, we're working out what date they took over the account anyway. When we take this join step, this aggregate step, and we drag it over and join it back onto the previous data set, then we're able to create a filter for our data. How are we doing that? So if I just zoom in to show you that as well, we're joining the client to the client, so for the client name, and then we are joining the from dates as well. So this is only joining the most recent from date onto all of the from dates that we have in our data set. So if we look at what the join results look like, we can see that 9 rows are being excluded here. And if I zoom out from that and click on those 9 rows, then we can see that these are all from clients who are having those duplicated information, duplicated rows for our clients. So we're getting rid of those duplication issues here. And now when we bring back our training information in, we just join that in now, joining on the client, then we can see that we retain those 13,528 rows and all of our duplication issues go away. We've overwritten our client IDs with the most recent client ID for each of the clients. If we take a look in our output, take a look at that Blander client once again, then we can see that all of its 65 rows are now with one client ID and with one account manager. So that's our way of dealing with those duplication issues, and now we could take this data set into Tableau Desktop and not have to worry anymore about duplication occurring. So hopefully this was useful, and thank you very much for watching.